Hi everyone. So the purpose of this video, and hopefully the videos that I record later on, is to document and record my journey to making a living off day trading. I'm trying to learn how to day trade in a way that obviously that I make money and not lose money. So there's apparently there's this stat that 95% of people that trade in the market end up losing money. So that means that only 5% make money. So my goal is to be in that 5%. I've been doing this for the last couple months. Recently I started taking it more seriously and I really want to make a living off it. So I'm not sure that this will actually end up being my main income, but I want to have that option. Devoting a couple hours a day to this right now. I figured by recording it every day, recording a summary, a recap of what I did and what I did right, what I did wrong, and what could I learn from what I did wrong, I will try and hopefully be able to improve significantly. The end goal of this for me is in 12 months from today. So today is September 22nd, 2022. Within 12 months to be making on average $10,000 a month in profit after fees and commissions and all that. Right now I am losing money. So, different amounts. Some days I'm making money, some days I'm losing money, but overall I've been losing money, mostly due to mistakes, a lot of mistakes that I'm making. Some of them are, like fat finger mistakes. So I'm not quick enough, or I clicked the wrong thing, or, I set a sell order too low, or buy it or bought something by mistake, or bought it too high, things like that. Some of them are more mindset and just fear of losing money. I cut things too early, or I sell them too fast, things like that. And yeah, so basically in these videos I'm going to review every day the trades that I took, why I took them, and how I handled the trade, and what I did good, what I did bad, and what am I going to learn from it going forward. Hopefully I can look back on this once I'm successful and see and learn from the journey, and hopefully you could learn some things along the way. If you would like to join me, I would really love that. So I'm going to review today's trade. Obviously I have a history of a couple months back, so you could see here it really started around July. So I'm about in my third month, nearing the end of the third month. And overall, every month I lost money. Some days I made money, some days I lost money, but overall every month I lost money. Today is September 22nd. I'm gonna review now the trades that I took today, and then maybe later on I'm gonna go back a little bit to just in general what's going on. So today, these are the trades that I took. Now I'm using a tool called TradeZilla to track it. So this is like a trading journal. They integrate directly with a bunch of brokers, so you could just export as CSV and upload it or through API. But I'll get to that later. Maybe I'll make a separate video about this tool. For now, I'm going to go over the trades. So the way I trade is I'm still learning. I went through a course on how to trade options. I'm trading mostly options, some penny stocks, but mostly options. So I went through a course on how to trade options. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, read a couple books. I'm part of a Discord community that, with a lot of education and different tips and alerts to help people to trade. So most of the trades I'm following signals from other people, from sort of like analysts who, they put out alerts that tell you, this is a good, we're buying this, we're buying that, we're selling this, we're selling that. And it is up to us to decide if we want to, up to me to decide if I want to follow them or not. So obviously my goal is to be able to take trades on my own, and I have started taking some trades on my own based on the things that I learned, but I'm not yet confident to do that full time, to take all the trades on my own. So right now I'm using assistance of other people, and that's part of this journey, right? So I'm trying to get the confidence that I can to make trading decisions on my own and be accountable when they go down and learn from it, and hopefully, make money when they go up, and being confident in taking position sizes that would actually make an impact once they go up. So I'm going to review that later as well. So for now, I'm going to quickly go through the trade log for today. So the first trade I took was a NVDA trade. So that's a put option for 131 put for expiring tomorrow on Friday. These were expensive, relatively expensive options. So we're going to go here to see the actual trade. So these options were $253 an option. And this was based on an alert from someone I follow. And so this was a tricky trade. When I wanted to buy it, the price was actually higher. So I set a limit order for the amount that I wanted to buy it at, and it got filled, and then immediately the option dropped. So if you're watching this on a video, you could see my screen. If not, I'll try to describe it. So I bought it at 9.33, and as you can see over here, so if we change this to 1 minute, so 9.33 was here. This is the put. So the put, we want the stock to go down. The stock went up right away, went up a little, and my stop limit for this was about at 12%. So if I bought it at 253, my limit to sell out would have been around 222. the option did go near that price. So as you can see here, the option went all the way down low, 224, and then it just shot right up. So I had a limit order to sell it 271, which was, it was supposed to be 10%, but it was actually lower than 10%. So this is a mistake that I made. I was going to sell it at 10%. And then the second one, so I only bought two. My sizing was about $500. For now, it's about $500. I need to increase it, but for now, it's $500. And I'm going to talk about that later also. So my sizing is about $500, and my stop limit right now is 10%. I know it's a bit low, but basically what that does is it gives me a lot of options to fail. So I could stop out of, let's say, 4 or 5 trades in a row and only lose $200. And then if I hit the trade, I can make $200-300 if I play correctly, and then make up that money. So it allows me to fail a lot more often with this smaller stop limit. So this one I almost stopped out, but then it went up, so that's good. This one I should have sold at 10%, which would be about 275, or really 277, 278. So I sold it a bit early, which is not the end of the world. I had one left. I should have let this one ride. This option went up. Right now it's at 550, so that would be a $250 gain, or more, almost $300 gain. And I sold it when it went down a little. Actually, yes, I sold it around here. I sold it by mistake. So this is another mistake. This is a fat finger mistake, I call it. I had the sell order at 3 placed automatically when I purchased the option, and I forgot to cancel it. So I had it set up on a template that automatically sells, at 10%, 20%. So I do that just to have it so it's set, but then usually once I'm in the trade, I look at it and I play it by ear, and I start moving things around. So I forgot to cancel this one. It didn't, usually if I have one left, I'll put a stop to sell it at break even or a little bit higher. It never got close to break even. There was no reason for me to sell it since it was just going straight up. As you can see here, it was basically going straight up all the way till here, which was at 420, 450. So, and then it dropped a little back to 379, 382. So I don't know if I would have held it till here, but I definitely should have sold it somewhere here. So I should have made an extra $80, $90 on this easy, not for that sell order that I had a mistake. So that was the mistake on the trade. And other than that, the trade is good. I made 12% after fees. So I'm using Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade. Their fees are relatively high, so they charge about $1.10 per option round trip, so buy and sell, plus some miscellaneous fees. So for example, Webull is a lot cheaper. I know they're like 12 cents round trip, so that's like 90% cheaper on the fees. However, I've used both, and I've noticed Thinkorswim, my fills are a little bit better, and the platform overall is quicker and easier to use for me, more intuitive, and a lot more options when it comes to automation of sell limits and stop orders and stuff like that. So for me, this is right now, this is what I've decided to continue with. So this is the first trade. So this is a win, but I could have won a lot more, and it would have covered. So overall in the day, I'm down, and I'm going to go over the rest of the trades. But this trade alone, my first trade, if not for that mistake, I would have made an extra easy $80 on this. So I should have been up a lot more, and that would probably make my day break even. So that's a mistake. The lesson from this trade for me is to go over my automation templates. So I have an active trader, different automation templates. So I think I use this one. Actually, these were 2 contracts. So 2 contract stop limit plus this automation I have is that when I buy an option, it automatically sets I think 50%. Yeah, 50% of them. Well, it sets all of them at a stop loss of 10%, and then 50% to sell limit order at 10%, and 50%, and the remaining 50% a sell limit at 20% profit. So I need to figure out how to adjust this automation in a way that it leaves 10 or 20% that without a sell limit order, just a stop loss. I'm not sure if it's possible. I think it is. I could probably just, I could uncheck this part. Okay, but it looks like I have to. All right, so I got to figure this out at a different time. For now, that's one lesson. The second lesson for me is just to be more on top of the trade when it's moving fast, and to remember if it's flying up to just cancel the last limit order, or cancel at least 1 limit order or 2 limit orders. So I have at least 1 or 2 that I let them run and capture the entire move and get all the profitability. The next trade is a Google trade. So this trade I took, and then I took it again. I think I made some mistakes here, so let's go through this quickly. So this trade I followed someone also, and I actually entered it below them. So what I saw was to buy it at 1, and it actually went up and then it went down. So I bought it at 94. I set a stop limit at 10%, and I stopped out. So stopped out actually a little below 10%. Well, no, 94, 9.5. Yeah, I mean, this could have been 84. Stopped out. I bought $470, lost $45. So this is a Google 100 call. Now, this was a bit volatile. The option actually went down all the way to 77. So here you can see the option, and over here, so I bought it over here at 94, and then so you see here I bought 5 at 94, and then it stopped out over here. So this candle looks like actually the lowest it went was 85, so I stopped out really at the lowest that it was. I mean, I could have set the stop loss probably a cent lower, but I guess, you know, this is the right, when you set a 10% stop loss, you're gonna get stopped out of a bunch of trades, and that's just something, you know, that I'm willing to accept right now. So I stopped out, and then of course right away it went back up. So I re-entered the trade with half the size, so 2 contracts instead of 5, so a little less than half the size at $1, and then it kept going up. I sold one at $1.10, so that's 10%, and then I let the last one ride. So it kept going up for the most part. It hit 142, as you can see here, 142. I didn't sell it because it was the last one, so that's another part of why bigger size could be a lot better, because when you have bigger size, I could have sold one here, one here, one here. You know, I would have sold along the top and not left it. When I only have one, I want to leave it to try to maximize the gain, but at the same time I could also lose out because I'm not selling it as second it hits all-time high. I'm leaving room for it to go up higher, and then I'm only selling it on the way down to maximize the profit and make sure I don't lose too much. So I sold it once it started going back down at $1.19, and this actually went back down all the way to 107 and didn't really go back up. I mean, it went back up here to 1.36, and right now it's at 116. So overall, I'm happy with this trade. I should have probably taken a higher size. So this is the first trade that I lost money on, and then this is the second trade that I made the money on. So I made 13% on this, and I lost 10% of this. So overall, if I would have taken the same size, this trade would have been profitable, but because I took half the size, which is okay, so I only made half the money. This trade is good. Probably should have taken 3 contracts. You can see these trades here too. Right, so some of them show up on the chart. I'm not sure why, some don't. The next trade I took 3 times. This was a mistake. This was a complete, this I shouldn't have done this. So the first trade I took, this, I bought Microsoft 235 puts for 96, and I followed someone on this, and these went down. So they went down and I stopped out at 10%. Now, if you look at this time, so 9:53 I bought these. So we want the stock to go down with a put, right? So 9:53, Microsoft here, 9:53. Stock did go down initially, went down a bit, went down even more. So this contract went up to 109. I should have sold at least 1 or 2 at 10%. So this is more than 10%, right? 96, it would have been 106, 107, 108. My automation template is set to sell at least 10 or 20 or 30% of the position, depending on the template, at 10% profit. So this should have triggered. It did not trigger because I didn't buy it with the automation template, which is a mistake. So I bought it without the template just for the speed of it, so I could get the order in before it goes up. But that was a mistake because it moved too fast. I couldn't capture this 10%, and then it went straight back down at break even about, and then it just hovered over here, and then here it dropped significantly, at which point I stopped out at 10%. So this trade could have been a win. I should have made money. What should have happened was I would have sold 2 at let's say 108, made $25, and then usually when I do that, I move the rest of the contracts that I have, I move them to break even, to entry, and then I would have stopped out at entry, made $20 in the trade, and ideally moved on to something else. I lost $55 almost with commission on the trade, and so I don't know why I did this. I re-entered calls. I entered calls, 3 calls, and this was a stupid trade because I did set it up with the automation, and it literally stopped out. You can see here 8 seconds after I bought it, or yeah, 8. The first one I bought a little earlier, but yeah, 12, 13 seconds. So this one I bought with the automation 10%, and like I said before, 10% is really low, and on volatile options, it can move 10% in a second. You know, it can move 20, 30% in a second, but 10% is not a lot. And today is Thursday, so these expire tomorrow, so it's even more volatile. That's another thing that I wasn't paying attention to today. Normally, Monday, Tuesday trading options that expire on Friday is not the end of the world. They have a couple days left, so the volatility, even if the stock is volatile, the option is not as volatile. Thursday, I mean Friday for sure, 0 DTE options that are expiring same day are extremely volatile. 10% stop loss is probably not feasible. Thursday is questionable. I probably wouldn't do it. Wednesday maybe, but Thursday 10% stop loss is risky, especially on cheap options, but on anything really. So like you see here, I stopped out within a few seconds, lost $28. I shouldn't have done this, no reason to do this. And then to top it off, I re-entered the puts again at a higher price once they were up to $1.06. So you can see here 10.03, so that was around here. So I started going back up. Now the context of this trade also is that at the time that I bought this, SP 500 SPY was basically going down for the most part. SPY was going down, everything was going down. Microsoft was sort of holding, so the idea was that Microsoft should go down as well. And then SPY reversed and started going back up, and then went back down again. Regardless, I re-entered the trade at $1.06, and of course it went up a little. It went up here to $1.09, but then it went straight back down, and I stopped out at 94 cents, which was stupid. It did go down further all the way to 69, so it's a good thing that I stopped out, and it hasn't really recovered since. 91.50. First trade should have been profitable. Second two trades were stupid, no reason to take them, so this is on me. I need to learn from this that buying only with automation, I should only buy stuff with automation to take profit and to stop out, especially when close to expiration, so I could take advantage of the profit as it comes. Otherwise, like here, I lost out on it. Switching puts calls back to puts, I'm not yet at that level that I could determine with confidence that the stock is going to go up or down in the next few minutes, and I should not be switching between them. If I lost on a put, not buying the call, I might be too late for that move, and vice versa, so shouldn't have done this. So overall, so far I lost $83 on the day. It's not the end of the world, but it shouldn't have been this way. I should have at least broke even just from the first trade, if not for that sell limit that I forgot to cancel, and I shouldn't have taken these last two trades. So this one should have been profitable, but even if it wasn't profitable, even at this amount, these two were pointless. So I need to be better at this, not taking trades just for the hell of it, and just taking things that make sense. So this is the trade recap for today. I might take another trade or two further on the day, and then I'll review it tomorrow. Overall for the day, I'm gonna go over some stats from the platform here that it tells me. So I had 2 winners and 4 losers, 2 trades that I won, 4 trades that I lost. Profit factor is 0.52, which basically means that trading like this in the long term, I'm going to lose half my money, or basically I'm going to lose, I'm constantly going to lose 50% or something like that. It's not good. It needs to be 1. So anything above 1 is good. And you can see here, even though my average winning trade was higher than my average losing trade, so my average losing trade today was $42.98. Average winning trade was $44.75, but because I had 4 losing trades and 2 winning trades, so overall I lost money. The goal over here is always to have a profit factor of over 1, which basically means I don't actually need to have more winning trades than losing trades. So my win rate for today is 33%. That's not good. That's not great. If my winners could be a lot more than the losers, so for example, if my stop loss is 10% and my winners on average are going to be 20% or more, then I could have this win rate and still make money, because for every 2 losing trades where I lose 10%, I have 1 winning trade which I make more than 20%. So that's fine. So right, if we go in dollar amounts, right, if I made a $100 trade, stopped out at 10%, lost 10, let's say $11. Made another $100 trade, stopped out at 10%, lost another $10 or $11. So overall I lost $22. But then my third trade I make, and then I make 25%, which is $25, or after commissions, let's say $23. So that's overall I'm break even. Right, I lost $22 from the 2 first trades. I made $23 from the third trade. So that's perfect. It's not perfect, but that would be an improvement. And that would be, if I did that a whole month, I would not lose money, and I would gain a lot of experience, and I would be able to trade a lot. And then hopefully the month after that or the month after that, I would increase the percentage of my winning trades, even if it's only by 5%. And maybe I would win instead of 1 out of 2, which is basically 1 out of 2, right? So let's say I take 10 losing trades and have 5 winning trades. Maybe I'll be able to improve that to 10 losing trades and 6 winning trades. That would overall mean that I'm making money. So that's really good. So overall, I mean, that's really the goal. Try to increase the average winnings percentage of my winning trades, and 10% for the losing trades is okay. Maybe I'll increase it a little bit. Once I increase the winning percentage, I can increase the stop loss a little bit more, and then possibly win more trades, right? Because you have to remember that because my stop loss is at 10%, there are many trades, not many, but there are definitely trades that could have been profitable, but they end up losing trades because of the volatility. It goes down 10 or 12 or 13%, I stop out, and then it reverses, goes back and turns into a winning trade. So by default, by having a tight stop loss, I will have a lower win rate, a lower percentage of trades that I win because of that However, being that I'm still learning and I want to be able to take my time and make a lot of trades and not, run out of money in the process, so having a low stop loss of 10% is very beneficial, along with position sizing. So taking, doing $500 trades or $1,000 trades, but not more. And of course, this all depends on your portfolio size. So, I have a relatively larger portfolio size, but if let's say you had a $5,000 or $10,000 portfolio size, you wouldn't want to risk more than 1%, 1 or maybe 2%, probably less per trade. Just think about it. If you have a $10,000 portfolio and you're taking $1,000 trades, right? So that means you have $1,000 trades and then you're putting a stop loss at 10%. The maximum you could lose per trade is $100. So that gives you can make 100 trades before you run out of money. Say you lost every single trade, you would be able to do 100 trades, which is a lot. And you're not going to lose every single trade if you half know what you're doing. I wouldn't go higher than that, meaning that gives you a place to be able to test and continue improving. If you did a 20% stop loss or a 30% stop loss, then you would only have 50 or 40 trades before you ran out of money if you lost most of them. If your position size was much higher, say you took a $3,000 trade and you put a 20% stop loss, that would be a disaster. That you could lose $600 per trade, and within 20 trades or less you would lose your entire portfolio. So these are just some overall considerations to explain why I'm going with 10% stop loss, just to increase the time that I have and the amount of trades I could take even while I'm still losing money, to lower the losses, to give me more opportunities to fail without burning a hole in my account, and ideally that with every winning trade I can make up 2 or 3 or more losing trades. Now for transparency, I'm going to show you the actual screens on Thinkorswim on the broker that I use, so you could see the actual profit and loss. Now the profit and loss on Thinkorswim will be lower because this screen that I'm using to show profit and loss doesn't account for commissions. There are other screens that do, but this one looks nicer and I like it, so that's why I have the TradeZilla, so I could know the real profit and loss. But as you can see over here, these are the trades I took for today, starting with the NVDA, which I sold for a profit. I bought the Google before I sold the last NVDA, so that's over here. And then the Google ones, which I made some money. And then the Microsoft, these are all losing trades. And as you can see over here, overall for the day, P&L for the day is minus $60. So that's without commissions. So you could see here, commissions were $22.44. So that's the NVIDIA. So here, the NVIDIA trade, I made $65. And Microsoft trade, overall lost $109.85 plus 24. And the Google trade, overall lost $16. So this is the recap for today. Overall, I learned some lessons and I am going to try to implement them in the next few days and do better tomorrow. The main lesson from today, I think, one of the main lessons at least, which I haven't noticed before, was just trading. I should have taken next week expiry. So I would have made less money, but I wouldn't have stopped out of some of these trades. Of the Google, probably I wouldn't have stopped out. Microsoft, maybe I would have stopped out anyway. I'm not sure. But either way, Thursday is probably a good day to take next week expiry. Yeah, so that's the recap for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you learned something from it. If you like this, would appreciate if you like the video or subscribe to the channel, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, subscribe and let me know if you have any questions or if you would like me to cover any other topics. Again, this is just my personal journey of what I'm going through and trying to document it so that I can learn from it and maybe someone else could also learn from it. And that's the recap for today. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.